And thank you everyone for this opportunity to present an icebreaker again. The challenge with pathways at times is that every pathway provides an opportunity for you to give an icebreaker speech, which is an opportunity for the members to learn a little bit about you. Now, your very first one, you might be shaking in your boots, afraid to get up front and talk with others. But as you move along, you will have perhaps more comfort in doing it. But how do you find something new to tell people about yourself that they may never have known before? I want to tell you about a dream that I had when I was 16. I didn't give up on it, but it took me decades to figure out what it was that I wanted, how it was going to happen. But first, I had to become an aficionado at riding a motorcycle. I waited until my 50th birthday to get my motorcycle license. I was very excited to do this. And when I went to get my plate, the people at the license bureau looked at me because I went, it's perfect. Because my license plate was LY350 for my motorcycle. I went, this is light years ahead. 3 for a number of completion, and it had 50 in it. Easy to remember my plate then moving forward. But I enjoyed it so much. 10 years later, I had the opportunity to complete that dream that I had when I was 16, which was to hop on my motorcycle and ride across Canada. I had been waiting for years to find somebody to take this trip with me. I asked, will you go with me? How'd you like to ride across Canada with me? Do you want to come and take this ride with me across Canada? No takers. No takers. But 10 years ago, on my 60th birthday, the opportunity presented itself for me to go across Canada and support a group that was providing menstrual supplies for women in Africa, Texas, and raise awareness of this program. They were trying to raise money to get these supplies to young girls in Uganda. And everything came together, but guess what? I was on my own. I got on to that, made the plans. People came together with me to help me. I got donations that enabled me to make the plan to go across Canada. I had friends who gathered around me to support me, to be able to move together into that. And then I had the people that came together the day that I took off, which was in August, mid-August, August 13th, I believe, 2012. I had 20 people come for breakfast to say farewell as I head off. And one of the team members who had put together some of the advertising to promote my Unshackled tour had arranged for the RCMP to arrive and escort me out of town. I hopped on my motorcycle and they turned on their sirens and I was out. Now, I did encounter another motorcyclist and he was wondering why I didn't stop when the police were flashing their lights behind me. It was the beginning of a momentous trip, one that I'm very grateful I didn't give up. But at that breakfast meeting, one of my friends told me, she said, I'm always with you. Now that camaraderie really made a difference, because as I moved on and went across Canada, I thought that I was well equipped because I had a cell phone. Got to into Ontario, guess what? No cell phone coverage. I was on my own, but not alone, when I ended up getting into my room at night. My very last night, when I was in New Brunswick, where I arrived at New Brunswick, I was able to stop because there was rain, and I did not want to be in the rain at all. And I waited. And for the first night, in all the time I was out, it was dark when I was riding. I heard my friend say, "I'm with you. You've done so well so far. Don't do anything foolish." I kept seeing signs that said, "Moose, beware of moose." And I've been told that moose were big black holes in the highway. I got really scared. So for the first time, I called the people at the house that I was at. I phoned them and I said, I pulled off the highway, stopped, because my husband had told me that too. And I stopped and I said, "How do you feel about riding a motorcycle?" My friend Steve came and met me. I got into his truck and followed him on the route home because I had no idea where I was. And it was pitch black and there could be a moose. Throughout this, I learned that I was on my own, but never alone. I've learned something very similar in Toastmasters when you give a speech or when you take on an office as one of the offices for our executive. You will never be on your own. You may be on your own, but you will never be alone, because there is a team of people here to support, mentor, and help you through. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Must be hanging.
Left hanging, Marcy.